Hey, I'm the proof when I'm in the booth, spitting on the mic. Anti-vax, Putin hates all of them blacks. Putin is a bad racist. Put him in the ground, white or brown. And I'm in plain old town. And you know you just got found. I'm a pimp on a blimp. Eating lots of steak and shrimp. No, you can't stop my shine. I'm number 99. And you know I grind and shine. And you know I do it all the time. One more time, I'm teaching class. This is your whole path. Zelensky is a VIP. Ukraine and I go insane. Put a bullet in Putin's brain. You know that is the plan. I'm a Zelensky stan. I love you, Vladimir Zelensky. You are so smart. What's the smell? Did somebody fart? No way. What can you say? Vaccinate me straight or gay. I love you, and I love to rhyme and grind all the time. And you got that sanitizer, and you know I got that Pfizer. You know I stick it in my vein. Put a bullet in Putin's brain. Do it for the Ukraine. Before I go insane, let me antibacterial my body at the party. Sipping Bacardi, you know the flow. And I am a pimp, cause I am on the blimp. Eating lots of steak and shrimp. One more time, I'm 99. And you know I grind and shine. Gas price is way too high. Vladimir Putin needs to die. Gas price is way too high. Vladimir needs to die. I'm the truth in the booth. Take my picture. I'm a winner. I'ma eat you for dinner. Okay.
You want to go to?
I just want to say, I love you. We need to take out Vladimir Putin, like Lindsey Graham said. Thank you, Mayor Mullins. I appreciate the time. Peace. God bless you all. Prime time.
Hey, welcome to the Soapboxx Podcast. I'm your host, TJ Legacy, and yes, my internet is janky, but we're going to make it do what it do on this brand new episode of the Soapboxx Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so happy to be here on the most infamous podcast on Thursday night. This episode, I'm calling this episode Sanitizer, because not only because of my man right here, but that's something I was introspectively thinking about this week. And but before that, let's start with the best co-host that any host could ever ask for. Let's start with the lady from Tallahassee with the hair did the edges lay. What's going on? Just Giovanni, how you doing?
Hey y'all, I am doing pretty good. I'm happy to be alive. Considering everything that's just going on in life, I'm definitely blessed to be alive, and I'm excited to hear from the Soapboxx Nation on how they're doing and what's going on in their lives. But yeah, let's get the show started.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yo, forgive me if it's on men. There's a bit of a delay because something's going on in this area where the internet is choppy or whatever. So co-host, if I end up dropping out, please carry on, and I will. I was going to introduce Jesse, but I guess her internet going out. Something's going on in the ether. But I'm gonna start with I'm gonna go ahead and go with my man up north, Harlem, Jersey, New York. What's going on, Alan York?
Man, I'm feeling good. I'm glad to be here, Soapboxx Nation. I'm glad to, I'm glad to see you, feel your presence, pardon the tardy. And we got TJ reporting live from a BlackBerry camera, I think, and the internet. So, but it's all good. We're gonna rock out. TJ, how are you feeling? How's your week been? You know what I'm saying? I see you got the muscle shirt, so I feel like there's some progress that's been going on
there. No, actually, I just I honestly cannot hear y'all because there's something going on with the internet. But I think to me, hold on. So I'm feeling good. I'm actually a little bit I'm feeling good as far as like my spirits, but I am actually a little bit under the weather. So I'm trying to kick this cold. That's why I came straight from the gym, because I tried to like sweat it out, but I'm good to go. But let me not forget to introduce Lady of the North. What's going on, Jesse?
So you better not forget. Everything is good. I'm happy to be here with y'all. But I want to tell you guys something that happened last weekend real quick. So like I was home, whatever. I was hanging out with my baby in the room and my kids were in their room. And all of a sudden, like the light outside lights on, like lights up. All I see was like outside of my window was like bright blue lights, right? So at first I thought it was lightning, but then when I stepped outside of my room, like it felt like like our whole house shook. It was like bzzz, just like that, right? So then the kids come running out of their room and I'm like, stay away from the window. So like I'm looking outside because I thought it was like, you know, a storm or something, but you know, I look at the weather all the time, but it wasn't. Everything was normal. So then it does it again. The whole sky, guys, lights up like lightning, but it wasn't lightning. It was, I can't even explain it. It was like some supernatural-ish. The whole floor again was like bzzz, our lights flickered on and off. And then when we look outside, like I see someone across the street, like pointing at the sky, like trying to explain to someone what just happened. And yeah, there was no reports on it. Nobody was really talking about it except for a few people. But that's, I think the aliens is like impacted.
I was gonna say, I mean, have we reached the point of Earth destruction to where the aliens have to intervene? Is that what's going on here?
I don't know. I think they was like visiting or something, but I don't know. It was weird.
Okay, so did you touch any electronic or steel shortly after this? Do you feel you have like any superpowers?
Yeah, I do.
Situation going on right now.
But I can't talk about my superpowers, so
you've already said too much, to be honest. They're gonna come.
You're right.
Get you. You've already.
I don't have nothing. I don't have nothing.
Please retract your statements. Do not.
I retract it 100%.
Please retract your statements and get yourself off of the alien radar.
Okay.
Because we need to.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, weird things in the sky, bright flashing lights and all that type of stuff. I feel like it's becoming more common, but that was the first time I heard about the ground shaking.
Mm-hmm. It was like, bzzz, like, you know, like when someone gets like electrocuted or something like that, which I don't know what that feels like, but when you watch movies, how it goes like, bzzz, it was like that. That's how the floor felt. It was super weird. It did it twice.
So your kids also noticed.
Yeah, they ran out the room. They were petrified. They were so scared. Like, we didn't know what was going on. Like, they had no idea. They were scared. And they didn't even want to go back in their room. Huh?
Did it shake the windows?
I just felt the floor shake. And when the kids ran out, like, I was, like, distracted. And then, like, it was so weird. It was the weirdest thing ever. The kids didn't even want to go back in their room. But I was like, no, just go back in your room. Like, I'll figure out what's going on. I told them to stay away from the windows. And it didn't happen again after that. And so, like, I was looking at our local newspaper to see if anyone was, like, reporting about it. And there was nothing. But I did find an article that I think, like, it was maybe last year or 2 years ago. Something similar happened the same exact way. Mm-hmm. The same exact way. And not a lot of people were talking about it. So, I don't know. That's a pattern. It's scary. That's weird. It's just weird.
Wow.
Interesting. So speaking of responsibility and kids, I do have a random question for you both. You know, obviously both are great mothers, but is there a motherly chore that you despise doing? Like, for example, me, I don't have children, but like a house chore that I'm not really great at, or not necessarily not great at, but that I just kind of despise doing is the dishes. Like, you know, me not cooking as much as I should is a direct result of me hating to do the dishes. So do you guys have any motherly duties that you're like, damn, man, I wish I could split this up with somebody? Like, if
all of them
this again, like if I never had to do this again, I would not. I would opt out.
I was thinking the same thing.
All of them? Because I was thinking, I'm like, there should be like a coupon or something, like some sort of like parenting coupon to where the mother gets like to omit a specific, a specific motherly chore for X amount of time. Like, I think that would be a fire Mother's Day gift, right?
Yeah, that would be really nice. Me, like, I love cleaning because I like to be in a clean house. But I think what irritates me is like if I wash the dishes and then just like that, there's dishes again. And if I clean the whole house and it's like, I like right now, right? I cleaned my whole house before the podcast. But I know that as soon as I step foot outside, it's gonna be like chaos. And that is like irritating. And then like doing the laundry, my back be on fire. If I could get someone to just do my laundry for me, I would definitely eliminate that and just have someone else do it.
Okay. And then on top of that, it's like as a parent, you're never only doing it for yourself. Mm-hmm. And to be honest, I think that is what irritates me the most. It's like I could go to sleep and wake up the next day and take care of the things that I need to take care of. But it's some things that you cannot go to sleep on as a parent because you need to do it that night. Like, right. Especially if you have newborn babies, it's like you can't go to bed without making bottles, or you can't go to bed. Some parents do, but of course, I'm pretty sure that's considered like neglect. But you're not gonna let your baby sit in a dirty diaper all day or nothing like that, So it's just like, right. I think the most frustrating part for me for a while as a parent was the fact that I had to do something and it wasn't beneficial to myself. It was just like, wow, the only reason why I'm up late is because I got to take care of the baby. The only reason why I have to get up early is because I got to take care of the baby. And then we could have a whole conversation about parenting, but for a while, the mother has to almost like neglect her own self to take care of somebody else. And it's not really that fun, but we love our kids.
Absolutely.
Nah, so I just wanted to say, as I think Mother's Day is coming up sometime this year. I just want to put the bug out there, fellas. If you got have a young lady that you are cohabitating with, especially in a parental role, ask her like, what's the shit that she really hates, and take that off her plate.
Yes, I like that. I like that, Alan.
I feel like permanently is a lot to ask for, but it's like a month. I'm saying, like, give her a little bit of freedom. She work hard.
I like that.
TJ, welcome back, man. We were just talking about dishes and shit.
Yo, I am. You know how people say the devil is busy or whatever's going on. My internet is acting really. I'm on my hotspot. I don't know what's going on. So we had a multitude to talk about. What are y'all talking about? Motherhood? I'm sorry, I just jumped back in. I heard
motherhood, aliens, chores. We really covered a lot of ground within the last 48 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Welcome back.
So we just went all over the rails.
Okay. Yeah. But let's get this.
I had this whole spiel about sanitizer because of that video that I posted, because I had a really interesting. Sometimes you don't, in life, right? Sometimes it's not a problem that you face. It's how you perceive it, right? How you look at the situation, your perspective on the issue. That's really the problem. And sometimes you want to either remove yourself from the problem or the situation. And sometimes people need to cleanse, but sometimes you can't really cleanse yourself of an actual problem, but you can't sanitize yourself. And so I looked at that and I thought about, someone like Kim Kardashian, who's been in the news all this week, whether it's with Kanye and Pete Davidson, but she actually had some comments to say that I wanted to get really the ladies' take, and that's going to be our first topic of today. Is Kim had something to say about women because we were just talking about women, motherhood, about women in the workplace, and I wanted to get the ladies' perspective on it and go around the horn and have this conversation. So let's get into it.
It seems like nobody wants to work these days. Give the best advice for women in business. Get your fucking ass up and work.
Run that back from the top.
Oh, we're gonna run it back one more time, okay? Because I saw this and I said, "Oh my God, I wonder if Jesse heard what she was saying, and what does Just Say think? Because that's the first person that popped up into my mind when I saw this.
It seems like nobody wants to work these days. Give the best advice for women in business. Get your fucking ass up and work.
So Kim Kardashian, I don't. What is Kim Kardashian? Is she a mogul? Is she a I really don't know. Still to this day, I don't know what people like. She's like a brand ambassador, mod. I guess you would say she's a model now. I don't know exactly what Kim Kardashian's official title or a socialite,
influencer
or celebrity, influencer, whatever. Yeah, women like Kim Kardashian, like Sweetie. I don't know what they do. I think I know what they do, but not officially. But yeah. So Kim Kardashian sits there and she says that women in business, right? And she says they just need to get their ass up and work. And to that you say, what were your thoughts? Let's start with Javon. What was your initial thought and reaction to her saying those type of things, her comments about women in the workplace? And this is actually International, Women's Month, actually,
Yes.
right?
Yes, it
Women's
sure
Month.
is.
So yes, correct. So this is only appropriate that we start with a topic when it comes to women in the workplace and how they are depicted by someone who has such a huge, large following. So what are your thoughts, Giovanni?
Well, I think that Kim K's reality is different from half of her audience. So I'm not exactly. I didn't listen to the entire interview. What was she saying before that? What led her to say that? Can we play a little bit more or what?
I think someone asked her. Asked her. The interviewer had asked her if she had any advice for women or people in business. From my understanding, I think that's what it was, and that was her response. And then Chloe agreed with her. That's what got me.
So was she trying to say that the only reason why she's successful is because she put work behind it? Or is she just saying if you want to have a business, it's going to require a lot of work? Because I want to make sure before I comment, Because if she's just saying that you have to work to have a business, that's correct. But if she was saying it this didn't come easy to her and she worked really hard for it, then...
She also said afterwards, she said something like, it seems like nobody wants to do the work. Nobody wants to get up and work. TJ, you don't have the longer clip?
Okay. That's what I heard. That was the version I heard when she was saying nobody wants to do the work.
Yes, I asked the producer for the longer clip and he failed. So no. So it's not me, it's the producer. So that's the clip that we got.
Well, I think that I think it's a easy way for rich people to provide a reason for why some people are poor. They think that that poverty is something that they think sometimes, of course, as you get older, poverty, you can get your way out of it. But I really do feel like at her level of standard of how she's living, that they think that people who are poor do not work. They have to be lazy. And so I think that was her indication of just saying women that are not up to her status may not actually be working as hard. It wasn't really offensive to me though, but what is offensive to me is people who defend Kim K and say she's self-made and she can make these certain comments because she's self-made. And I feel like Kim K, she, regardless of who she was, I mean, even though Chloe and the Jenners, and then I mean you have her father and all that type of stuff, all of them have all of them are American socialites, all of them are well known and are elites in the world. But yeah, I just kind of feel like because of those reasons, she already kind of had success. So I'm not. I don't. I can't really have an opinion about what she said, because that part of what we just played is like, duh. We know we have
Yeah.
to work to have a baby. Like, so that
Right.
if that, to me, I just feel like if that was the best advice that she can give, then she probably hasn't worked, because one thing Americans don't need any more advice on is work, how to work, how much to work, when to work, where to work, how many hours. It's like that's the very least. That is the smallest advice that you could give a woman entrepreneur is work your ass off. Like that's not even, we're not even promoting that no more, working your ass off. Half of what we promote nowadays is self-care and self-love, because quite honestly, we work too hard, and working is not this, working harder is not necessarily the way to go. It's really working smarter. So she should have been giving out some real tips on how to
On
keep
how
that
to
moving.
do it.
Right.
Mhm.
So I just felt like it'll, as I expected, that class of people is not trying to help the working hard class of people, because that was sorry advice. So that's all I'm gonna say on it.
Yeah, I agree with Jay. And like she was saying, like her reality is not everybody else's reality. And we can't deny that she was born into privilege. That's the fact of the matter. I don't care what anybody has to say about that. So it was probably, and I don't know her story 100%, but let's not deny that it was probably easier for her to get where she's at because of her privilege than it is for someone else who might be, just starting out, who has kids, who doesn't have any money, or everyone has a different reality. Everyone, it could be a woman who's in business or a man who's in business, whatever the case may be, who have different types of obstacles that they have to overcome that she never had to deal with. So I mean, okay, who are you to tell people to get their ass up and work? Like, okay, like don't get me wrong, like it's not, and I read something about this too, like it's not easy to stay at a millionaire status, because you can be a millionaire, billionaire, whatever the case may be, and run through that money or not know how to maintain that status or what to do with the money. But I mean, we got to be real about it too. Like the Kardashians, they have built an empire that's they have a legacy, and Kim knows what she's doing. She came out with her clothing line. She's trying to be a lawyer. They have that reality show that's been going on for 100 years. They know how to maintain their status, and they do it very, very well. But you cannot deny that they come from privilege. And what made it really funny for me, like this clip, like Jay said, like I don't find it offensive. Like, yeah, get your ass up and work. Like if you want to be something in this life, if you want your business to thrive and succeed, yeah, that's the reality. You have to get up and put in the work. You can't expect that things are just going to come to you by not doing anything. That's just not how it works, unless you have privilege. I mean, it might happen like that for you, but no, you got to put in the work for things to happen. But it was funny to me when Courtney was like agreeing with her, because I don't know if you guys have watched the series, but she never wanted to work. Like out of all the sisters, she never wanted to work. She was always like, no, like I want to be with my kids. Like that was her priority, was motherhood, and it was never like really putting in the work. So I thought it was a little funny that she was like sitting there and agreeing with her sister, when from what you have shown, you haven't really always wanted to work, but you still have that privilege where you're still successful, you're still rich, because that's what you have. That's your reality. So it's just, to me, the way I see it is like, yeah, not everybody's reality is the same. I agree with what she's saying. Maybe, what is it? There's a word, a phrase I'm looking for, right person, wrong messenger. Maybe she could have just delivered that a little differently. I didn't really take it offensive. I kind of agree with the message. Yeah. What do you think about it, Alan?
Yeah, I mean, I just think I just find it so funny that and almost unhealthy, like the amount of emotion that she pulls out of people for absolutely nothing. Like I don't think anyone in the history of historydom has ever had this amount of discourse for advising people to work hard. Like on the flip side, like we talk about Mamba mentality, right? Mamba mentality is working hard. Like that's pretty much what it is. That's what it's centered around: doing the work, focusing, and rest in peace, my man Bean. We've seen him do the work, and of course, that was one of the reasons that we took to that. I think due to the people assuming what Kim has or hasn't done behind the scenes is the reason for all of this backlash. And just like a lot of the discourse around that clip has everything to do but with people, but whether if people agree with the message or not. Like a lot of people are going on these TikToks, these diatribes about her family, what she did, what she didn't do, and none of that negates the fact that you have to work hard in business. Like, so it's just an extreme amount of emotion being pulled out of people. And in this case, yes, I think she was probably tone deaf, but I don't even think a lot of people say when she's having these moments that it's on purpose. I don't think she expected any sort of backlash at all for telling people to work hard. And that also, you know, we're talking about what she does for a living, who she's around, the socialite circle. I mean, shit, I'm not in that circle, but who's not to say that that's not a reality around what the hell is going on in Calabasas? Like, especially when you surround yourself with people with privilege. You know, of course, obviously, if you coming up in privilege and you've been rich your whole life and you're surrounding yourself with people that come up similarly, I don't think it's weird at all that she like has this thing where, damn, people just don't want to work hard. She's probably around people who don't want to work hard. Like they're rich already. So there's a big difference. There's a big difference in, you know, just day to day. I'm sure she's not talking about kitchen cooks and people like us who are working, you know, 40 to 70 hours a week. That's not, like Jesse said, that's not her reality. So, you know, I don't understand why people like that would take offense to her comments. And then also, like, you know, one last thing is that, you know, people, you don't make a bill, you don't privilege yourself. A lot of people, I should say, don't privilege themselves to $1 million. It don't matter how much your mommy and your daddy make. It's a lot of people who were born rich. It's a lot of people who are socialites. Shit, it's a lot of people who dated athletes. Shit, there's more people who have sex tapes. And those people aren't billionaires. You know what I'm saying? Right. So like there has to be some sort of work that goes into this, whether you would like to, you know, whether you like to discredit it or, you know, or not. $1 billion is a lot of motherfucking money to privilege yourself into. You know what I'm saying? So I just think the discourse around it is kind of weird. And it should not like bring all of this emotion out of people. Like even if you hate her, all of this additional engagement is not going to do anything but get her to another $1 billion. You know what I'm saying? So that would be, and I definitely understand why people don't like her. But I've always said the same thing when it comes to her and just whatever aspect or whatever controversy she has surrounding her, ignore it. Just ignore it. I mean, because she literally, like, engagement is literally how she makes her money, whether it be intentional or non-intentional. So that's all I got to say about that, really. You know, work hard, niggas.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with your take, and y'all forgive me if y'all have made some of these points because my internet, I'm over here in a 12-round bout with my internet trying to get it up and running because it wants to be cut in, cut out. So please forgive me if y'all made any of these points, but I guess the philosophy of what Kim Kardashian's comments, you got to take it two ways. Is it important when you are successful to remember how you started? Is how you start as important as where you currently are in your success? I'll just throw that out there, right? I know it's delayed on my end, so I'm probably delayed.
Nah, I hear you. I probably
shouldn't have.
Letting you get your shit off, TJ. We just let you. I don't know if that was a question for the audience, but
no. Okay. So what I mean by that is, it's very easy for us to say, well, don't listen to Kim because she got her start. Really, she was a fashion, not a fashion designer. What is it? A coordinator, wardrobe stylist. Right? Stylist. But really, she got her start.
She made something fame
because she did it. She made a sex tape with Ray J. Let's call it spade what it is spade. That's what it is. But on the other hand, we look at someone like Jay-Z, who had to do what he had to do. Like he talked about his days selling drugs and stuff like that and coming up in the world. So people are like, so is it sexist to say, well, Jay-Z came up this way, but nobody goes back to Jay-Z's past. They just look at Jay-Z as a successful rapper, entrepreneur, and businessman. But then Kim Kardashian. The problem with Kim Kardashian and her comments is the illusion from the elites that, hey, it's that pull. It's the same thing that black folks have been taught. They're all like, oh, you just got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps in order to be successful. Oh, you're just not working hard. The average American is living paycheck to paycheck. Like, people don't have life insurance. People don't have all this discretionary income to do all these different things, invest in all these businesses and all these different ventures in order to become successful. People literally have to take a shot. And people think that going viral and success is because of, you know, internet and social media is an overnight thing. And it's just not. Kim is tone deaf because she was born into privilege. And so when you're born into privilege, you think that, hey, this is easy. It's easy to say that you can score a home run when you start off on third base. You see what I'm saying? And that's basically Kim's perspective. And so I think, you know, with the Kardashians, people just need to really just wash their hands of them in their opinion, because the reason why people take Kim Kardashian so serious because she has a larger platform to basically what she's putting out there is more so propaganda that everybody else isn't working hard and she's just outworking everybody. And that's just not the case. And Kim Kardashian doesn't just feel this way. A lot of the top 1% and a lot of these elitists feel that way. And to be honest, it's a slap in the face. Mostly what Kim Kardashian has done and her family does is culturally appropriate. So it's easy to say that we can just you're not working hard enough when really you're taking off and makes your careers based on other people's culture and appropriating it. That's a big part of who you are, right? So just because you're in the industry, you're in a celebrity, you're a glorified sex worker, right? Your brand is selling sex and the fantasy of sex. That's what Kim Kardashian's brand is basically built on, right? It's not built on family values and no, it's built on being in the limelight. And we got to also take into account Kim Kardashian, in my opinion, is a hardcore narcissist. And so she really feels like she's better than people and better than, you know, the consumers who are buying into her product or the people who are following her. So I just think it's just one of those things that we need to dispel those rumors that people aren't working hard enough, because people are working 2 to 3 jobs, right? Now, do I feel like people should be working hard enough on their actual dreams instead of working hard enough for somebody else in a corporation? Yes, but you are kind of like that clip. We're taking a snapshot of the conversation and not talking about the picture, the whole capitalistic society in its totality. I hope y'all heard that, because I'm delayed and I can't really see whether or not I'm.
I agree. Americans.
We're good. Okay, because y'all like froze on. Y'all are frozen on my screen, so y'all good. You're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
But yo, we do have some comments. Shout out to Soapboxx Nation. Shout out to Maya, all the way from Cali, showing us love. We appreciate y'all. She said, Maya says, exactly not sure what her point is. She's gonna say, preach it, brother. Not sure if that's you, if that's Alan or me. So I'm gonna take it and say that was me and my points that were so articulate that you were just floored. I'm gonna take that. And Live Music Lover says Kim Def started on third base. You're right, she did. She started on third base, so it's easy to say that, you know, look, we did it, and we're successful. Not to mention, Kim's dad was OJ's lawyer, so yeah. So, you know, for her to just be like, hey, you know, y'all not working hard enough. I mean, is it? I don't want to say what she. I don't know, man.
Is that what she said?
Go ahead, Al.
Is that what she said? Y'all not working hard enough? I didn't hear that.
Well, she's actually not talking to us. She didn't say shit about men. She just basically said to the women in business, get your ass up and work. But what she's implying is that that's why more women in business aren't successful, because they don't want to work. And I just don't agree. I don't agree with her sentiment.
I haven't heard Kim Kardashian,
because it doesn't make her such a savvy businesswoman. I mean,
okay. I was just getting ready to say, if that was supposed to be inspiring women or giving women advice, I'm still waiting on that advice. Like, I really want to know, Kim, where should I invest my money?
Thought she was really deep.
Yeah, that's why I was like, if that was the deepest thing she had to say, she could keep that. I'm good.
Right. Give us some real tips.
Yeah, give us some real tips. Like, are you buying real estate? Are you investing into the stock market? Who is your, how did you start? Do you all have one marketing team? How many marketing managers do you have? Like, come on, give us the details, sis.
Right. It sound like somebody got her fed up. One of her assistants was on some bullshit that day.
Yep, that's exactly what it was.
She just lashed out.
They called out.
Right. She was like, you know what? Now that y'all say it, you lazy bitches.
Let me just say,
right.
What's crazy about that clip is that Courtney was like, that's so true. Courtney being the most boring Kardashian. That's so true.
Even when you cross even if you were to kind of look at that, I mean, and then you got Jesse said, yo, Courtney was the one that didn't really want to work. You know what I'm saying? Courtney and Kim started off in the same place. They come from the same parents. One is worth $60 million, the other is worth $1 billion. Like, there's a lot of work that goes in between the difference between $1 billion and $60 million. You know what I'm saying? As much as we don't want to, and I hate having to like.
But the thing is, the work, and I'm not discrediting Kim Kardashian's work, but her definition of what work looks like is not the average definition of what work looks like to
That's
us.
A fact.
Because when she decided that she wanted to be an influencer on social media, she took $100,000 and hired somebody to post for her, to record all of her videos, to probably wake her up in time to remind her to record. Meanwhile, we're buying setup cameras on Amazon that's $35 and trying to follow the IG algorithm and post every day just to get 5 likes. So it's just like it's not the same. They can literally hire a tech person to generate some sort of code so that all of their posts are part of this algorithm thing, and now they're trending. Like, those are real things that rich people have to take advantage of to be able to even trend on social media. Like, it's a whole different ball game that some people will never be able to reach because of those algorithms that are set into place that you cannot tap in until you are a part of that circle.
For sure.
I feel like we need to be able to realize that as like entrepreneurs and people on social media, it's like the thousands of followers that you do gain independently or whatever. It's a whole process that some people can skip to gain those followers. And so for all of those working mothers or women out there, definitely deserve a pat on the back for even being able to do some of the things that people just spend money doing.
Right. And I think, like, to a larger point, to what you're saying, not even what she's saying, but the work looks different for everybody. You know what I'm saying? The road to the destination looks different for everybody. But in between the starting line and the finish line, shit, it's gonna be some motherfucking work. I tell you that much. So,
well, we got a comment from Maya Alexander. Kim said, "Get your ass up and work." Like, girl, I've been working as hard as you, and I'm still not where you are. Do we all need to make sex tapes? That was my comment. Jess, you wanna comment?
No, I agree. I mean, I get it. Like, I work really hard personally, you know, and I feel like I'm always trying to find different ways of how I can make more money, more money, more money. But my reality is not Kim Kardashian's reality. And like you said, Jay, like we don't know. Like you said, she hired somebody and paid them $100,000 to basically be their social media manager, right?
Oh no, I was just throwing numbers out there.
Oh,
That
okay.
something.
Oh, well, hey, who knows? Whatever. She had the money to pay somebody to do that for her, you know, to get her some sort of exposure, whatever the case may be. Not everybody can do that. And I mean, you could save up. Everybody in business, everybody has a budget for certain things. And even if you do hire somebody to do that, there's still a possibility that they won't get you to that status that you need to be on. She already had status. So it was easier for her to, you know, elevate or to be seen more. And that's why I go back to her reality is not everyone else's reality. But I also like what Alan said when he was like, oh, that she probably wasn't like she probably wasn't talking to us 9 to 5 people. She was probably talking to the elites, people who are in her circle. That's probably what she was addressing it to. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, yes, you do have to work hard, but sometimes you can work as hard as you want to work and you still don't get to where you want to get to because you don't have the same resources that a billionaire might have. And that's the reality for a lot of people.
Right. Listen, I'm gonna always act like Kim Kardashian or any Kardashian is not talking to me, and I think everyone should assume the same.
Why we think we were so important? Like we was like,
right.
Right. Like, excuse Kimberly. I just finished my 10 hours.
To me?
Right. She is talking to the young Calabasas creative who only posts 1 TikTok a week and think that she should be on because she's rich. She's talking to them people. It ain't got nothing to do with my 70-hour work week. So it's none of my business. It's none of my business. But speaking of which, I got a question for y'all. Speaking of Kim Kardashian, I do want to kind of broaden this question because so she is in a new relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what she recently stated is that her man recently got a tattoo and quote unquote like a branding of something that signifies her on his body, right?
Mm-hmm.
I actually do believe we got somebody in the back with a little bit of clip of that. Let's see if we can pull that up in 1 second. And while we're doing that, ladies, I want y'all to think of the craziest thing a man who has been in love with you has done positively, though. You know, whether it be a tattoo, whether it be a branding, or
how long have you been dating?
That's a great question. I have no idea. I read somewhere that it was like it's been like over a year, like sometime early 2021. But I can't really say.
I wouldn't feel special.
So
I'm looking at it says right now. I wouldn't feel special.
Yeah, it says Kim, and then I think he has another one that says my girl is a lawyer.
Well, that's pretty broad. So, I mean, you kind of marginalize yourself to only dating lawyers from now on, but that's not a bad problem. You know what I'm saying? That's not a terrible problem.
And to be honest, it looks like if you know he got that tattoo and he's fully prepared to cover it up in the case they don't work.
Of course,
right?
Because he is tatted all the way, so it's just like it's over. It's over for him and his body.
So ladies, have you guys have had a man initial anything that signifies you? Maybe if it's not your name, maybe it's an initial, maybe it's guys watched Alton and the Chipmunks for the first movie theater, like anything like that you can remember.
I would love for it to get to that point.
Oh, okay. So you would like for a man to have your initials on you or something?
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Well, like not heck yeah, but
hell yeah, maybe.
I think no. We don't have to do the names, but I do like the idea of yo, let's both go down and let's get a tattoo because for whatever reason, we could do it at the same time. It doesn't even have to be a heart, a broken heart, or a key, or none of that. It's just like it could still be a sentimental moment without you putting your name on me.
Yeah. Okay. Nah, that's hard. Jesse, anyone got your name tatted on them? And would you like more people with your name tatted on them?
No, absolutely not. Like, it's okay because I'm not getting nobody's name tatted on me unless it's my kids. And no guy has ever, done that, which is fine. Like, yeah. So no, I think.
But I'm just thinking. Go ahead, Jess.
No, go ahead, because I'm trying to think.
That's some serious obsession when you get a person's name tattooed on your body. Is that some serious obsession? Like, I mean, not upset, but like seriously, like a deep, like I love this person.
Right. I mean, it definitely can be, for sure. I think it definitely can be a symbol of obsession. Some healthy, some not healthy, but also I noticed some people, especially extremely tatted up people, they don't treat tattoos as seriously as people who are minimally tattooed because, at some point throughout their life, they know that they're going to get more. They know that covering up is an option. So it does come across, and it also comes across, no matter how many tattoos that you got, to the other person that, he is really deeply committed into a relationship. He really does love me. And on the back end, he's always like, shit, I can always cover this shit up. So I definitely do think that it could go both ways depending on the person. Like if she's your third or fourth tattoo, or, you're kind of mostly non-covered for the most part, then, that definitely can get into a little dangerous territory. But at the same time, like I said, there's some people where, they swapping out tattoos, getting them covered left and right, and it's not really a big deal to them, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would like Maya was saying, I would do matching tattoos, but it depends like where we are in a relationship, and it kind of would have to be something like to signify something deeper than just us, where like if we were to break up, I like, for example, right, I have this tattoo right here. Can you guys see it? It's an anchor tattoo, right? So I got it with two other girls who we were like super close, like really like tight bonds, but we had a falling out just with one of them. We had a falling out, and she ended up getting hers covered, and the other girl also ended up getting hers covered because the other girl got hers covered. So everyone got theirs covered, but me, I left it because like what it signified for everybody. Me trying to get my words out. What it signified was like we'll always hold each other down. Like, but it's like a Cape Verdean saying, like, in a way. I don't know how to translate it, but it was like we'll always hold each other down. But like when they got theirs covered up, for me it was like, okay, you can do that, but I'm gonna keep it because at the end of the day, I'm always gonna hold myself down no matter what anybody else does. So it was like even though like they took that piece away, from themselves, I was like, I'm not gonna take it away. Like, I'm gonna keep it because no matter what happens in life, I'm always gonna have my back. So I feel like if I get a matching tattoo with somebody who I'm in a relationship with, like, it has to be something that even if we were to break up, no matter how great the relationship is, it's always gonna mean something to me personally.
That's hard. Yeah, that's hard. I mean, you can, even if the relationship itself doesn't flourish in a longer sense, there was still a point in your time where the relationships meant so much that you had to get a tattoo. So I think that's dope to still commemorate that. Soapboxx Nation, Maya, says yes and no. If you really don't care about the person, then no. But if it were a few years and I'm really in love, yes, I'd keep some stuff, but hopefully soon let them go. Release what doesn't serve you. That is from Soapboxx Nation. Thank you very much, Miss Maya. I appreciate that. Claps, snaps, and all that. Now, speaking of express your love, the Chicago court system expressed their love for Jesse Smollett. Within a week, convicted him. going ahead and sentencing him to time, and then also releasing him. So he will not be doing the time that previously was issued to him. Now, he also, during the sentencing, stood up in the courtroom, told the judge that he respected them, and also stated that he is not suicidal. He said, "Judge, I'm innocent. I respect the courtroom, but it's important to know that I am not suicidal." I can't say I'm necessarily shocked that he was let go. It's a high-profile case. Jails are packed. It will probably serve the city and the county to let him go and not have to deal with all of that extra security and all of the good stuff. But this case has been a whirlwind and has been going on for years.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies, are any of you surprised how it finally ended up with, it looks like we have some resolve?
But he's not freed. I mean, they let him go, but isn't it just like pending appeal?
Yeah, I mean, he still has, from my understanding, he still has to serve a bunch of community service pending appeal, but I don't see him really going back. But yeah, there is some consequence for him to still execute at minimum community service. So.
Okay, I mean, good for him. I like that when he walked out, he was like, "I'm not suicidal."
Yeah.
I mean, that was good that he said that, because not for nothing, like, people really be going to jail and dying in jail mysteriously, by suicide. Okay, with all the security there, and it really be real suspicious. Okay, so yeah, I think that was a good idea that he did that. And maybe that's why they let him out, because maybe they had other plans for him.
I get what you're saying. You're saying like it's good that he announced that he wasn't suicidal. So in the case he just died,
mysteriously.
Right. Yeah, you're right. When you go to jail, you got to make those phone calls immediately. Listen, I'm in here. I am not suicidal. So they cannot claim that I could know.
Yup.
I mean, I think everyone's like kind of happy that this shit is over with for the most part. Like, I mean, we didn't get too much into the details, but all of the information that the Chicago PD brought back in regards to proof that nothing happened. Producer. All the stuff that came back in regards to disproving that he didn't do it, or it wasn't how he said it was absolutely bonkers and out of this world. And I can respect that. I can respect him going down with the lie. You know what I'm saying? I can respect, because, I guess sometimes you in too deep, like Makai Fife, in the words of Kanye West, and you just got to continue to hold it down until the end. So.
Sometimes the best places to hide is in plain sight. I think he was smart to be like, "Yo, you ain't gonna Epstein me. I am not suicidal." But I believe you should be held accountable. I believe you should be held accountable. But what bothered me was I didn't see the full clip, so I'm not going to say it actually bothered me, because I'm going to listen to the full clip. His brother actually had some claims as to why Jesse Smollett was not being widely supported, as they claim, from the African American community. So let's take a look at that clip.
That ultimately Jesse was not going to get the same type of support as a straight Black man, and it's been obvious. I find it very difficult to believe that this ever would have gotten this far if Jesse was a straight Black man. And so we need to really think about that. Celebrities, common people, everyone. We need to think about the fact that literally society at large failed him. And hopefully one day the truth comes out to where people can see it clear as day. I don't know how they don't see it now, but hopefully someday that happens. And when that day happens, it's really a shame that it took that long for folks to understand that.
Jock, so you think that if Jesse were a straight Black man, the public reception would have been way less intent on vilifying him from the jump?
Hands down. As a straight Black man, that is hands down what would have happened.
See,
okay, let's unpack this, and hopefully my internet will work. All right, folks. Folks got to pick a side. All right, because when do black men get all this privilege? Like, we're to blame for every goddamn thing. Everything we are to when something goes in the public eye, when something goes wrong with black women, black men are to blame. When things go wrong in the black community, black men are to blame. Now Jussie Smollett, who made up a story about being kidnapped or being assaulted by two Nigerians who he allegedly was hired or knew about, and that he allegedly had relations with. So now, since you made up something so that you can get clout, whether it was political clout, whether it was Hollywood clout, now all of a sudden that's black men's problem because you aren't being supported, because you are now being held accountable. How about Jussie Smollett actually be held accountable for the actions that he did, right? Instead of everybody blaming him. And I could see why he can do this whole, why he wanted to do this whole hoax thing, because, you know, he's not being accountable to nothing. Like, he has so many enablers around him, including his brother, who gets up on TV and saying, "Oh, it's because he's not a straight black man." Like, straight black men in the judicial system just have an easy road. Like, come on, like, right. You literally have black men on camera being assaulted, and we don't get wide support. Black men rarely get the benefit of the fucking doubt in anything. But now all of a sudden you want to pull your "I'm a straight black man" card. Like, I just don't rock with that, man. I really don't. And it actually weakens his case, because this dude, Jussie Smollett, is not Martin Luther King. And he's not Nelson Mandela. He's not. And so people came out and supported. You know who also came and supported Jussie Smollett? My ass, who I told y'all wrote an article and supported Jussie Smollett and all the shit that he was going on and how horrible the attacks were. And they came to find out this Negro that made up everything. So yeah, I don't agree with his take, and hopefully y'all heard me, because whether it was a delay or not. But what do y'all think? Go around the horn. Jesse, what do you think about his comments? Actually, I'm sorry. Let me go to Alan as we black man. What do you think about Jussie Smollett's brother's comment about Jussie not being widely supported because he's not a straight black heterosexual black male?
Well, first off, even just the comparison of if this was a straight black man, he would get more support is like fundamentally incorrect, just off the basis of the type of crime we're talking about. I mean, according to what the initial story was, not only was the story about him being black, it was about him being gay. So that's not even a comparison that should have even been made, just because the nature of the crime that he was saying, first off. Second off, it's like, I do think that if the case wasn't strong enough, like, they probably would have threw this out a very, very long time ago. The fact that they have these brothers on camera buying all of the items that was going down in this plot, like, people wanted to support Jussie Smollett, like, very badly. In fact, I remember the first week that story came out and all of the think pieces. TJ's, yours wasn't the only one. I remember Vibe magazine came out with a large triage about.
Came out swinging.
Yeah, and everybody was like, "Yo, the whole community, they got to rally around this brother." It was a concerted effort to make sure that we believe this person, and it also played into the hypersensitivity with the MAGA stuff, because he was saying how they were wearing MAGA hats, and like, it was just so long and elaborate to get people to rally behind him, and then, like, piece by piece, it started to fall apart, started to fall apart. And so I really don't like that. And not only that, I don't know if you guys remember, during this whole thing, he came out, I think he was on like Ellen or something, while he was fighting the case initially. He called himself the gay Tupac. Like, this is a quote from him. He said, "I'm like the gay Tupac." Like, so he was playing up the, that he was going to be some sort of community savior, some sort of public figure, and also putting out his sexuality. I'm not saying putting his sexuality out there per se. because it wasn't necessarily a secret. But he was trying to hit all of the check marks to where he made himself a victim and some sort of freedom fighter. And then shit just started breaking down one by one. So I don't think his brother is doing him any good by continuing this, this storyline. I think everybody should just kind of let it go away if I'm surrounded by him at this point. Let the die lie itself. You know what I'm saying? Let the lie die and just try to continue to do something else. You know what I'm saying? So, ladies, how do y'all feel about it?
I agree. Just leave it alone. Stop talking about it, because then you're just adding more fuel to the fire, because the fact of the matter is you are guilty for what you did. You were wrong. Okay. You made everyone sympathize with you just to find out that you was lying. It's kind of like, and maybe this is not a comparison to make, but it's like when someone lies about being raped and then they get off scot-free. And it's like, no, like, you were wrong. You can't just sit here and make things up to get sympathy or whatever your motives are and think that it's okay. It's not okay. So let's call it for what it is. Yes, you were wrong for what you did. I don't think it's fair to really bring up his sexuality, because the facts remain the same, whether you're gay, straight, bisexual, transgender, whatever the case may be, you're still guilty. So I agree, he should just leave it alone at this point and start fresh, do something different.
Sure.
Crazy.
Yeah, Jay, how you feel about it?
You brought. Oh, go ahead.
Jesse's sir, we did our absolute best to help you when you were telling your lies. And while you were doing that, it was real Black gay men being tortured and terrorized because of who they are. So while cops and judges and everybody has spent their tax-paying dollars to help you not go to jail, it was a waste of taxpayer dollars. That's what I have to say about it. It's ridiculous. Like, and for his brother to get on there ratchet as he was, it was just like, no, that is not what we are about to be doing for the culture. That is not what we are about to be doing, getting on here trying to justify none of that.
All right.
So it's just like, I don't know.
His brother did come in there. He had words for Alan. I was like, damn. He was like, Alan is supporting you.
Wait, who said that?
Yeah, word. Jesse's brother. It had words for Alan. He was like,
listen,
if he was a straight Black man, y'all would be supporting him, but you're not. Some milk and cookies.
I will take this. I will take this opportunity to shout out his sister, who I have a slight crush on. She was in Lovecraft Country. She's been acting for like a very, very long time. Yes.
Wait, who is his sister?
The girl from the Great Debaters.
No, that's not.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. She was in Temptation. Tyler Perry's
really?
Temptation one.
I didn't know that was his sister.
Yeah, Journey Smollett.
Oh shoot, she's so pretty.
This is an educational podcast as well. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know that.
I'm here with the educational lust, as I like to call it.
Now, how many movies has she had to play the light-skinned, sometimes privileged Black girl, and we don't see her claiming hate crimes?
That's because her checks continue to come in. She getting a lot of money. I'm saying, listen, Jesse doesn't do this if Empire is not about to get the boot from Fox. I'll tell you that much.
And that's the thing. It's like, okay, we people would stand behind you if it wasn't just about you. Now, if this was something where you're saying, I'm trying to end hate crimes I'm trying to end homophobia or all these racist acts, all right, maybe that's something else. You're trying to shed light to it. But when it was all said and done, this was not about Black people, nor was it about gay people. This was about a check. Or am I wrong? Was this not about a check?
To our understanding,
No, I think it was more about clout, because this was during the election,
Or
and they were trying to
clout?
basically do the whole MAGA thing.
Even worse.
Same thing, though. What do you need clout for? You need clout to get more money. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Well, true. Well, Live Music Lover says, are people really being tortured for being gay in America today, though? People are still being heavily discriminated against for their sexual orientation.
They are. They still. There's definitely certain sectors that are
tortured. Tortured is maybe a strong word, but are they being widespread discriminated against? Yes, there are still people that, because of someone's sexual orientation, they won't let you rent at a place. They won't. Yes. Now, are there laws and stuff that they got? Are they a protected class? Yes, but are they still widespread discrimination towards the LGBTQ community? Absolutely, there is. Yes. Thank you for your question.
And there's a lot of kids that get bullied still in elementary and middle school who are gay. So
that's true.
I actually want to pivot because Jesse actually brought up a conversation that I wanted to get the women's perspective on, and it has to do with Chris Brown. Okay, so I don't know if you guys heard this week. Well, in the news, Chris Brown was actually being sued for $20 million for allegedly. Yes, allegedly. I'm sorry.
Was that a slur?
I'm sorry. Yeah. I was like,
what was that?
Relax. Yeah. So Chris Brown was.
Oh, your shit.
No,
let me get through this. The first
right.
that Jesse just couldn't help herself. It's just kind of, damn. Yeah. So anyway, the story: Chris Brown was being sued by his accuser. A woman accused him of raping her, and she was suing him civilly for $20 million, right? But allegedly, well, not allegedly, Chris Brown actually shared text messages and voice messages from the woman clearing his name. And it showed that the woman was actually pursuing Chris Brown and blowing him up. And he basically ghosted her. And subsequently, since he ghosted her, she made these rape allegations. And since her attorneys have decided that they don't no longer want to be a part of this this case. Not only that, but the text messages and voice messages about how she enjoyed the encounter and wanted to have sex with him again all came after the alleged assault that had happened. So, and Chris Brown basically said that, y'all owe me an apology, but, he's not going to hold his breath because Chris Brown, because of the Rihanna situation, he believes that people have a perceived idea about him, and they're going to believe anything that comes out. So my question, I really want to hear from the women on this subject. Not saying I don't want to hear from you, Alan, but do you think accusers, if you are, I want to preface my comments correctly. If it is determined and found out that you made a false rape accusation towards anybody, doesn't matter if it's same sex, whatever, a false rape accusation, and it is proven that you fabricated your testimony and your account of those actions, what do you think? Do you feel like the accuser should be punished? What do you think should happen? Because that was the conversation that was on social media. Like, okay, so someone gets accused of rape, and then it is found that the person who is accusing them was actually not being forthright or basically fabricated the story, lied, right? What should then happen to said person in your estimation? I'll start with you, Jesse.
I think they should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. I feel like there should be some sort of repercussions, because had you not confessed and had that person that you were accusing, had they gone to jail, you would have messed up their lives. You got their names already tainted, and you're lying. So now all of a sudden you decide to, you don't even decide, but it comes out that you're lying, and it's okay, all right, it's scot-free, like no, like that person that you accuse, if somebody goes to look them up, that's still gonna come up. You still in a way tainted their name, and that's a very serious allegation, especially when people are getting raped every single day. Okay, that is not something that you play about. And me, I have 3 sons, so I teach them, like when it comes to consent and like all of this stuff, like that's something that I heavily talk to them about, but kid friendly. And as they grow up, like, I'll continue to teach them in a way, that makes sense to them based on their age. But God forbid, like somebody did something like that to my son and then thought they were going to get away with it. Like, no, we're going to have a problem. And I really feel like there needs to be something set in place where people are, where they're punished for this, because it's not okay. There's so many times that they're accusing people and they're lying, okay, and they get away with it. It's like, okay, well, whatever. Like, no, there needs to be some sort of law in place, if there isn't already, that prosecutes people who does shit like this, because it's not okay.
Well, I do want to preface it. Like, there is, if you give a false statement to the police, basically like the Jesse Smoot, if you make a false accusation, you have to file a report. So if you're giving a false statement, technically you can either, I believe it's perjuring yourself or giving a false statement to the police. So technically, yes, they could, and in some cases they do pursue, but it's not something that is like a staple, right? And I think, a lot of times it's used as, people don't want, and a lot of advocates would say they don't want to use it as a deterrent, right? Because there's this notion of, well, if there's an accusation, believe all women. You don't want to have women who are victims of sexual assault. It's hard enough to prove these cases as it is. You don't want them to feel like, well, if I report this, they're just going to flip it on me, and then now I'm going to be a victim of rape. Plus, now they flipped it on me, so now I'm going to be in trouble because no one's going to believe me. Thus, more victims wouldn't come forward.
I think it's a difference. Yeah, go ahead. I'm just saying, I think there's a difference where people don't believe you and you are lying. There's a difference there, because it can be proven that you're lying, right? Like Chris Brown, this situation, whatever the case may be, had proof in a way, right? But if someone doesn't believe you, okay, like, they don't believe you, but you could still have evidence that backs up, like, no, I'm telling the truth, which is not always the case. I watch a lot of Law and Order SVU. It doesn't make me an expert, but I've seen a lot of different cases. Like when it comes to rape, that's paralegal. Like, stop it. That I'm saying that it's like reality. I've read like a lot of articles too, like when it comes to like rape, and like even aside from rape, just like people being attacked or like murdered, there's a lot of different situations where like you can prove it. You can prove that it really happened. And I feel like it's a difference there. It's a difference between I'm lying or they're not going to believe me. That's how I see it.
What do you think? What do you think, Giovanni?
I think that it's to falsely accuse somebody of rape is a whole nother level of evilness.
Period.
Like, it's just flat out evil. Of course, we all know it's bad and angry and sad people in this world. But to go along with the lie that somebody raped you is something really going on, to the point where you could just lie like that on somebody that you don't even know. And we don't necessarily know the full relationship that they had, but I'm assuming that this was revenge or this was just
well, basically, it was what he's alleging is
like
look based upon his,
uh,
sorry, based upon his evidence, well, what he presented on social media in the voice message, basically he's saying they had relations. It was consensual. However, because he ghosted her and basically was like avoiding her, it was basically a one night stand type of situation. She wanted it. She wanted to hang out and not be more than just sex. She also talked about, hey, just let me know my role. And then so he proved that, hey, not only was it consensual, she wanted to have sex with me again. And so her claim of saying that, oh, he drugged me and raped me was false. And so that's the nature of their relationship that Chris is alleging on his side.
Who can you imagine if he would have continued that? How crazy it could have gotten. She is the type that could have killed him and hid the body. Like, I'm just saying, rape is one level. Now, sometimes you just be wondering, like, how far would you really take it? Like to say that somebody raped you and they didn't. Now, it's definitely not the same as some people who falsely accuse rape because they have like false memories of incidents that happened to them, and then when they're in another situation, like traumatic events, and they sometimes that happens as well, like with rape cases where people have falsely accused other people because of some other traumatic event, and it just so happened to like trigger while they were with somebody else. That's different. But to just be like at home and you like, you know what? I'm gonna say he raped me. Like, that's just like some you better pray that.
Right.
Yeah. What do you think, Alan? Because we heard from the women's perspective. Here you are, you're a guy, you're a single male, last time I checked, out there in the dating world. Is this something that you are concerned with?
Wait, one more thing, because Alan, I want you to answer this question too, and TJ, I want you to answer it too. But say you met somebody for the first time, and you heard it through the grapevine that this girl had accused the previous man of rape, and it turned out to be true. Would you continue to pursue and get to know that person and date them? Like, I just want to know your perspective on that.
Good question.
Alan, you want to go first?
When you said it's true,
you muted.
Like she was actually assaulted?
No, she admitted to telling the lie.
Oh, she admitted to telling the lie? No, that's a morality flaw that I can't really get jiggy with. No, I mean, I don't know how I would find that information out, but that's not the type of chances that I'll be taking if that's what were to like for sure happen. Like if it's 100% proven or she admitted, like you said, that she told that lie. Nah, I can't get jiggy with that like that. What about you, TJ?
I don't even like talking to girls that have cheated before. I have a hard time doing that. So I could just imagine, like, I don't give a damn. I don't care if it's elementary. Like, you cheated before, you got that you got that gene in you. So I'm already looking at you side eye. You tell me that you falsely accused or you made because I'm assuming she would tell you like, oh, I did, I was upset. I did accuse this guy one time of raping me. Yeah, you can't be in my space. You can't be around me. We can't have a conversation. We're good. But I will say this. Over the years, I have, how we talk about toxic masculinity? There's also toxic femininity as well. And here's what I mean by that. There are a lot of women. What doesn't get talked about a lot is women don't necessarily know how to deal with rejection either in the dating world. It's seldom do you talk about it because as a girl, you're thinking, oh, every dude is trying to hit, every dude is trying to have sex with you, every dude, either wants to get with you, dudes in your DMs, whatever. So a lot of women today don't really get told no all the time, or I'm not interested, or yo, I'm good. I've learned in my dating experience, right? It's better to end things on good terms with any woman that you've talked to, whether y'all were talking, dating, and any sort of interaction, it's better to end on good terms or make it her idea that she is no longer talking to you, because that ego is extremely fragile. And you never want to leave where they feel like you got one up on them. Because when you feel like you got one up on you, you are susceptible to whatever she puts on her billboard. And this goes back to your dating history. If you plan as a man, if you plan on becoming successful, right? And anybody wants to know, especially in this day and age with the Me Too, and well, if you plan on becoming successful, the number one thing people are going to want to do is find out about you personally, right? Oh, what is this person like personally? And the quickest way for them to figure that out is to know who you dated with, because who you're intimate with typically is who is the closest to you, whether it's an ex-girlfriend, whatever, your closest friend, but they typically go to your exes. They're going to always ask. And so that advertisement, you can't have a lot of women say, and I didn't know this in my younger years, a lot of women say, oh, it was the worst experience. He was an asshole. He was this, and that. Because where there's smoke, there's fire. And you get into the situation like Chris Brown, where your reputation precedes you, right? So what you say with success, what people say about you in the room that you are not a part of means a lot, right? And it also means a lot for in success of what type of woman you have around you, right? And so fellas out here, and I would tell my nephew, I would tell any younger fellas or even fellas who are around me, you have to be very careful, very, very careful of the women that you have around you. The thing, like, I ain't gonna lie, I got cameras in my spot. Like, I make sure that I put myself in the most secure position possible, because I know how it feels to be accused, falsely accused. I know how it feels to be like for people not to believe you in certain situations. So, yeah, you got to do what you got to do to protect yourself, to make sure that you too are safe. And yes, in this day and age, there are someone said, Giovanni said people will try to kill you. Yes, there are people who are obsessive and they cannot handle a dude just saying, nah, I don't want to be with you. It's always some sort of, it's always some sort of big reason as to, oh, well, he's this. He's no. Sometimes it's just you. And he doesn't want to be, with you. And so, I don't like, it actually gives me a lot of anxiety, this story, when I heard it, because it's like, that's a scary thing when you are not in control of your own freedom. Like, it's when you get accused of rape, like, it's never going to go like that. It never, ever, ever goes away, whether you are acquitted, because there's always going to be somebody that thinks, he may, for instance, I don't know if you guys, Deshaun Watson,
all the time,
right? Deshaun Watson is the quarterback of the Houston Texans. Deshaun Watson this week had his cases go to a grand jury to see whether or not he was going to face criminal charges for whether it's sexual harassment, sexual assault, because he had 22 civil lawsuits against him currently right now. So all his cases went to a grand jury to find out whether or not Deshaun was going to be, he has 22 accusers, to find out whether or not Deshaun Watson was going to face any criminal charges for these accusations. And the grand jury came back and said, nope, we're not filing any criminal charges against Deshaun Watson. And he's been accused of, he has 22 civil cases because of whether it's masseuse or any of those type of improper interactions with the people who were giving him massages, the women who were giving him massages. Even with the grand jury saying they're not going to bring criminal charges against Deshaun Watson, there are still in sports media world people saying, well, it doesn't necessarily mean he didn't do it. It just means they didn't have enough evidence in order to charge him. It will always stain him. So my advice to fellas is if you are not interested in this day and age, and women are getting, look, I've been watching Euphoria, so I see the scandal shit that's been going on. I don't know if y'all watched that show. Have y'all seen that show?
Which one?
Euphoria with
Yes.
What's her name? What's the girl's
Mm-hmm.
Zendaya.
what's Zendaya? Zendaya. It's a pretty good show. It's definitely triggering. But yo, I'm telling you, man, you gotta watch. There's a scene in there where a dude, he gets accused of rape and gets his ass whooped by a dude, and knowingly he did not rape this girl. Well, he didn't. And that's weird because in scene. Technically, she was under the influence and she was underage. So, it was rape. I guess he did rape her. But she actually was like, hey, let's go to the pool and have sex. It was very weird. It's a very dicey situation. Sorry I brought it up. But anyway, because rape is one thing, consent is another thing. We got to do a whole episode on that shit. Because I'm telling you, fellas, you have no idea what the fuck consent is. And I'm telling you,
one time we talked about.
We got to do another episode
last year. And we had a guest, I believe, with that. Maybe.
Yeah.
It was Jane Edwards. Jane Edwards, Romeo Pimp is the episode on the Soapbox. It was Jane Edwards. She talked about she was an human trafficking awareness advocate. Yes, she was very fond of Mr. York. So we may have to invite her back on to the program if y'all. Yes, Jane. We might have to invite, but we got to do an episode on that because consent, fellas, what you think consent is? Nah, y'all might as well just go out. This day and age, you might as well get something notarized. You might as well fellas need to become a notary because shit is getting complicated and you think you got consent, but you really don't. So, but that's another episode for another topic for another episode. Yes. So lastly, let's hit the Tristan Thompson. Have y'all heard of this story? Let me pull it up. Jesse, you wanna grab this one?
I mean, basically, as you guys know, Tristan Thompson went and got another woman pregnant while he was in a relationship with Miss Courtney, and they went to court to basically decipher child support, and he was ordered to pay an amount that TJ will disclose to you. But she also said that she is not working, okay, but she has set amount of expenses, which I believe amounted to $20,000 or more. CJ, you can clarify that amount for me. And now
Yes, I'm talking with the producer now.
Okay, awesome. So, and now he has to pay this child support. There was also text messages that he was exchanging with this young lady, basically saying, prior to the baby being born, that, I'm about to get married. It's about to be public. Why would you want to keep a baby that I don't want, or that, is a mistake, is what he said. So now he has to pay this child support for this young lady who has zero expenses. No, what is it? Who has no job, but $20,000 worth of expenses. Go ahead, TJ.
Yes, I spoke with the producer. I have the numbers for you here. It says 1 million. She gets 1 million in child support, right? I guess off the bat, plus 47,000 per month. The 1 million is actually for her legal fees. And she says that she makes $0, like $0 in income. She has, so means she does not work. She has $0 in income. But she is claiming that her monthly expenses, although she makes $0, is $22,000 a month. And so now she's making 47. Now she's gonna get 47,000, basically 48,000 if we round up, 48,000 in child support per month, and that's based upon Tristan Thompson's income, which he said his monthly income is around 810,000. His 810,000 per month.
And this is if the court approves it. They haven't been to court yet, right?
Oh no, they have approved it. This is the done deal. This is
So this is happening.
This is happening. This is happening. So she went from $0 income to $47,000. Now I'm not, I'm not a parent as of yet, and so I do want to ask Giovanni and Jesse, how much does it cost to raise a child per month? One child. Does it cost anywhere close to $47,000?
In the case this could possibly be used in court, yes, it does. Yes.
There's a lot of different factors that go into that.
I'm not claiming nothing less than $47,000. I'm not claiming nothing less than $47,000.
You know what's so funny? I saw your wedding photos on Instagram. First of all, let me just say this, right? And I have to big y'all up. We have some fine women as co-hosts on our podcast. Y'all was doing y'all thing on Instagram. I was like, look at y'all. The hair was laid. Jesse with the late, what was it? The lace top last week, and then she made the TikTok video with the lace or whatever it was.
Lace? What are you talking about, TJ? I've never baby hair.
No, the edges was laid. I'm talking about the white top you had on last week. What's it called?
Okay.
Sheer?
All right.
Satin.
Oh, it was a sheer.
Like,
sheer
I was like, yeah, make fine. But
okay.
I thought he was talking about a lace front.
Me too.
No, I was saying, y'all know. See, y'all always picking on me. See, I was trying to give a comment.
Thank you.
This is look.
We appreciate it.
But I will say this: when I saw Giovanni with her hair and then she had the shades on, I said Giovanni looked like somebody like a basketball player's wife. That's how they come to the games.
Definitely a Sophie wife.
So that's what's so funny about your comment, because you said, oh, absolutely. I don't know how much it costs. That's funny.
But what I will say, seriously though, what I will say is that it makes absolutely no sense. And here's the thing. I do believe, it's so tough because I want to support all women and their kids. But it's just like men are so dumb. Like men are so, oh my goodness, are you freaking serious, Tristan? Like you really sat up here and did that in that girl?
Wait, do you think he gets Chloe to pay this? That's what I would do. I would ask Chloe, but listen, babe, I love you.
If they were married?
No, I'd be like, listen, I love you. All right. I would go ahead and get married to Chloe right now. What the hell? What
now would be the best time, but he's not going to be able to marry anybody with these child payments. Nobody is going to marry him in their right mind. Nobody.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, I guess so. If they want $1.
Mm-hmm.
Because not only does he have to pay her $47,000, he have 2 other kids, and they all want $40,000 apiece. So whatever money he makes a month, he's not going to see.
Well, he got $800,000 per month.
Okay. So
I don't know, Alan,
let's say he has to do like $200,000 a month. I guess he need to keep the other $600,000. But
Alan, does this conversation about child support trigger you as it does me?
No,
but
I'm not having no baby.
$1,000 a month.
And JD and
wait, Alan, you don't want to have any kids?
Hold up, a little technical difficulties. Hold up.
Let's unpack this. I want to unpack this before we wrap.
Moment of silence. Alan, you don't want to have any kids?
Yeah, and all of a sudden he got technical.
So it's not.
Have you made that decision?
It's not triggering to me, but because I don't think I'm not having any kids anytime soon. And I will do everything in my power to ensure when that time comes, I'm not going to be in a child support situation. And of course, I know everybody says that, but I'm just saying, I want to put that into the atmosphere. But so no, I'm not triggered. know what I'm saying? But, you know, everybody, unfortunately, you know, there's consequences to every action. Science was wilding out with the whole, like, I just think the bar for having children is mad low. Like, science was kind of going crazy with the whole.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Difficult.
Yeah. I feel like there should be a little bit more hoops to go through to have a whole child. Like, you know, me and Jesus gonna have a conversation about that.
For real.
Yeah, like, I mean, you know, give us some prerequisites or something. But I don't know. Tristan has always kind of moved sort of sloppy. You know, the fact that he was like, yo, I'm gonna just, if you had this baby, I'm just gonna retire is crazy. And at the same time, you know, I can understand obviously, you know, her body, her choice. I could definitely understand her. If a child is something that either she really wanted and she knew that this would be the best situation for her child monetarily, then I definitely understand why, you know, why she would go through with that. But, you know, I think this is just a lesson for the fellas out there. You know what I'm saying? Just please be careful. Have these conversations with people even before you lay with them. There ain't nothing wrong with wilding out. You know what I'm saying? Putting some monkeys in the jungle, put some kids in the pool, but there should be an understanding.
But carry that hot sauce packet like Drake.
But in the case, like the case that she was in, I mean, it's different, you know. At least I mean this seriously. At least she had a baby by him, you know. I don't know.
Yeah. I just look, man. I don't want child support payments. I'm not built for that life. So whoever I have a kid with, God willing, I am married to. So because I'm not, I can't do that. And not only that, I don't want nobody else around my kids. I watch Euphoria. I don't want nobody around my kids at all. That show I'm only on the beginning of season 2. I don't want nobody around my kids. I want to be able to wake up next to my kids and see them and all that other stuff and not have to worry about whether it's visitation or any of that. Like I'm not built for that. And so, and I'm already going to get a prenup. So no one's getting my soapbox money. Anyway.
Well, I mean, but last thing too, like, because we about to go to the moral of the story, but I would also like to say, like, a lot of these conversations as well, we're talking about Tristan Thompson. We're talking about somebody with high level money. A lot of times I don't even like to bring this up, you know, child support discussions and debates for people that's in my tax bracket, which isn't high. Because a lot of y'all niggas need to be shelling out more money to take care of y'all kids, for real. Like, that's probably, to me, that's probably, like, there's a lot of women and children being underfunded than they're being overfunded.
Now, that's the real truth.
You know what I'm saying? So, shit, you know, they hitting Tristan Thompson for what they did to the Cold Crush. You know what I'm saying? Make sure your baby mother a little. So
you talking about? So you saying if you work at Publix and they garnishing your wages of your $73, you don't need to be talking about. See, me and Tristan got hosed by the system.
Right. Yeah, you know, all these dudes on the internet.
They took my $73,
brother. You need to be worried about this promotion. You know what I'm saying? You need to be worried about making more money so you can give your child. Make more money so you can give your child more. You know what I'm saying? That might be my more of the story. So
hey, that's a good
one. So you saying if you drive an Uber and your wages is getting garnished because they took your $25,
you might need to consider having that baby.
Listen,
he's like, look, because you know what's so funny about them dudes? Them dudes be like, yo, I mean, if it wasn't for her, I mean, I'd be on my grind. I'd be building this empire, but they keep garnishing my wages.
Brother, listen, let me
and I love how y'all men like to throw out there, I'm not having a baby anytime soon. Meanwhile, women like, I need to have a baby in the next couple of years because after so long, it ain't happening no more, you know? So congratulations.
I got 4 more years of my prime, and then that's it.
Man, y'all can have babies probably like up to like 60 years old. Like, come on.
These potatoes ain't good in 4 more years. That's it. We retired. My hips is tight. No more potato. Hey, let's get to the moral of the story. Jesse, we're gonna start with you. Go ahead. Moral of the story, real quick.
Moral of the story: get your ass up and work. No, I'm just kidding. But you know, if you want to be anything in life, you know, focus on your goal and don't give up, no matter how hard it is. Like, yeah, not everybody is born into millions, but find your way, find what works best for you, and go at your pace. And yeah, that's it. That's my moral of the story.
Word. If Kim Kardashian told the dudes who are on child support to just get your ass up and work, ain't nobody would have had no problem with what she had to say.
No, that's right.
Giovanni, what's your moral of the story?
So my moral of the story is I feel like we dealt with a lot of conversations today where it was like a person trying to make the right decision, but in a bad situation. Kind of like with the Tristan and Marley situation. It's like she want to make the right decision because she knows that if she has a NBA star's baby, she's going to be straight for the rest of her life. But at the same time, it's a bad situation because they weren't together and he had a whole nother lady. And then with Jesse, it's just like, you know, he could have made a right decision and just let this whole hate crime thing go, but he was in a bad situation where he was losing all his money. So I guess my moral of the story is, what right decision are you trying to make right now in a bad situation?
I like it. Mr. York, what's your moral of the story, sir?
Shit. My moral of the story is, you know, if it don't apply, let it fly, man. You know, I think a lot of these conversations, especially when it comes to, you know, these social media presences and all of that, they don't deserve our energy. They don't deserve our efforts, our shit. They don't even deserve our topics here on the Soapbox. So if it don't apply, let it fly. Do what's best for you and yours, and I'll do what's best for me and mine.
Yeah, y'all pretty much hit it all. So I'm just gonna say, yo, make sure y'all got good people around you. As y'all saw this episode, my internet was out, and I was in and out of this podcast, but my peoples didn't miss a beat. They was talking about, I guess, what are y'all talking about? Helicopters, aliens, spaceships. We was versatile. Anything. We are on brand, and I love y'all for that. I appreciate y'all. Sorry, my internet was acting real funny style. We will definitely have more conversations about that topic, about consent, sexual assault. We really need to do more about that because these stories are going to be a lot more prevalent in the next couple. Well, with Chris Brown, child support, all these different topics are going to be more prevalent within the next coming months. I just have a feeling. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to having those conversations as well as in getting some guests. We need to start getting some guests on. I know we wanted to rock with y'all, just the four of us, and we've been consistent. Let's get some guests on the back end as well. So, with that being said, we appreciate you rocking with us, Soapboxx Nation, Soapboxx Podcast. Thank you so much. Those who watch us on Facebook, I know we try to focus on the YouTube views, but those who've been rocking with us on Facebook, who watch us not just live, but watch us on playback, we do check the views and we do see the engagements. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I saw a reel that was talking about, hey, don't sweat them now that they're successful, now that they done made it, whatever. Like, success does not happen overnight. This is a process. We are in our process, but we believe in what we're doing. We believe in the content, and we appreciate your support from Maya to Live Music Lover to anybody who rocks with us or has a conversation with us. We definitely appreciate you on the Soapboxx Podcast. So for Jesse, for Alan York, for Giovanni, this is TJ Legacy. We are the Soapboxx Podcast, and we are out.
Anything. Tell them what we talking about. Anything. Tell them what we talking about. Anything.